Little nightmares. There's nothing little about these guys. Welcome back to R.E.G, ranking every game, a show where I rank every game I have ever completed. As for right now, I have completed 92 games. We're getting close to the 100, guys. We're getting there. But today we're talking about cute horror titles. This video was inspired by Little Nightmares. The third game just came out and it spurred me to go back to the first one. It's been rotting in my collection for like 5 years now, but that review's a little bit down the line. I'm curious to see how you guys react to it. But do you guys remember this GIF? It's from a free game called Rental, about a little bunny family who moves into a new home, but the air feels different here. Something is wrong with this place. The game's pretty quick, only taking about 20 minutes to beat, so I'll keep this part of the video short as well. The style of this game is fantastic. The low poly GameCube feel mixed with the creepy, foggy atmosphere. It all coalesces into something I absolutely wish I could have more of. Not necessarily in a terrible way. A lot of the time with these short games, I'm left with the thought of some sort of flavor in my mouth. But I walked away from Rental pretty content with the 15 minutes I spent. There are some pretty apparent issues, but none of them stay long enough for me to be mad at. One of the things that I think matter enough that I should bring up is that the game isn't that scary. If that's what you're looking for, it's more of just kind of a cool mending of eerie and cute aesthetics with a weird little cosmic horror twinge at the end. Highly recommend, but my score might not reflect that completely. High 6 out of 10 and ranks 70 out of 92 on the R.E.G list. Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Or Spooky's House of Jump Scares if you ignore the Spooky House legal dispute of 2013 or whenever that happened. That actually doesn't make sense because this next part in the script completely nullifies that. This is a 2014 horror game about opening doors. The little spirit says that you're trapped and you must open 1,000 doors before you can make your way out of this mansion. It's a simple concept done really well. When you start ripping through doors, you kind of feel like this is going to be some sort of grind. When I first started playing, I kind of thought of it as something similar to like a clicker game. Running through repetitive mindless tasks as fast as you can, chasing that 1,000th door and being jump scared by little cardboard cutouts on your way. But after a couple dozen doors, actual monsters called specimens appear to chase you down. And the game gets more and more difficult and scary as it progresses. The way that my mind works, I think of everything on a scale of 1 to 10. That's why I made this series. So I'll tell you that this game is about a 7 out of 10 as far as fear and terror goes. You will absolutely feel it in a couple areas, but it's not like too much. The scariest and coolest parts of this game come in each specimen's special room. They range from a little bit of extra flair to light puzzles. My personal favorite is the mansion within a mansion. You have to explore for a way out while hiding from this freaky old man dragging around a huge scythe. I also really love the 2 water themed rooms. The specimens themselves serve as a cool facet of this game as well. They work like SCPs with lore outside of the game and obviously outside inspiration as well. But let's talk about the ending. It's probably my biggest critique of this game. It feels sort of lame. It's missing a feeling of closure. It's very silly and keeps to the sensibilities that the game has built to this point, but I was hoping for something a little bit more complete. But I guess you could say the game had ended the way that it was meant to be ended, the way that's true to itself. For me, this lands 7 out of 10 and ranks 54 out of 92 on the R.E.G list. Subway Midnight. Out of every game I'm talking about today, Subway Midnight looks the best. I love the aesthetic. I've played through this game twice, once about 4 years ago when it came out, and once a couple of days ago, and I completely forgot how inspired I was by this game. Specifically the text blocking. I live for these solid colors with punchy red on usually black and gray black backgrounds. Pretend I didn't stumble a little bit at the end there because that was a really good take. Besides that last part. Also, since I'm cutting away, I'm going to do it again. Subscribe and like the video. Guys, I want to get to 100 so bad. I meant 500 subscribers. So bad. We have to hit it. Okay. Bangarang. back to the video. The colors and lighting in general are so eerie and add a lot of artsy feel. All the games that I talk about today meld cute and scary in some way. And again, aesthetically, this is my favorite example of this, with these cute sprites populating the subway and the freaky, grotesque 3D models hulking in the background. Okay, the visuals are great and definitely my favorite part of this game, but what about the gameplay? It's pretty similar to Spooky's actually. You're on a subway car and only have one direction to go, deeper into the train. As you move through the cars, you meet ghost characters that you need to help with their unfinished worldly business. Usually extremely easy puzzles or just, I don't know, just talking to them. Does that count as a puzzle? Most of these characters are like this, besides these two. They come with good and bad, so let's start with the good. This kid's puzzle is called Colin's Game, a first-person collectathon horror game within a horror game. I don't think Subway Midnight is that scary, to be honest, but Colin's Game is easily the scariest game that I'll talk about today. It is horrifying and kind of taught me what I value in horror: obscurity and helplessness. Obscurity in the I can't see the freaky thing in the dark, not the I just discovered what 9 souls is obscurity. It is extremely low pixel, and when you see the scares, it's horrifying having no idea what you're even looking at. The helplessness comes from the game's controls. You can move forward and turn left and right, but only one at a time. Move forward, stop, turn left, stop, move forward, and it's just so scary. Any other horror game, the first thing you do when you see something freaky is to turn away and run or attack, fight or flight. This game forces you to freeze. You are completely hopeless. This room, which doesn't even try to kill you, is horrifying, but still got my heart pounding just because of my inability to leave it. Okay, that was the good, now time for the bad. And to be honest, it's like game-ruiningly bad. You cannot get a good ending in this game on your first playthrough. To complete the kid's story, you need to bring something you collected from Colin's Game to his sister the first time you see her. And this is far before you have access to Colin's Game. It's literally impossible to get a good ending on your first playthrough. Listen, some games do this. I'm thinking of 999 in particular. But with these games, you have something to offer in a replay. Forcing a replay can even deepen a love for a game under the right circumstances. But here, no, absolutely not. I do not want to walk through the same hallway, finish all the same puzzles in the exact same way, and wear out the aesthetic that I already love. Even Colin's Game on the second playthrough just felt like scrubbing away a little bit of its veil and cheapening it. There is no reason you should have to replay this game. There should absolutely be some sort of way to backtrack or design it in order to get a good ending without replaying a whole 2-hour game. I could play 8 rentals in this time. 6 out of 10 and 68 out of 92 on the R.E.G list. It's currently my highest 6 out of 10 on the list, so if you want to call it an honorary 7, go ahead. Little Nightmares. I'm interested to see how this goes down. Little Nightmares is a puzzle platformer with a sort of shoebox 3D. You're always looking at the scene from this side angle, but in these little boxes, you have to figure out how to escape any given situation. And I think the idea of maneuvering around a space in order to escape being someone's next meal is interesting and really well done in a game like Rain World. But the controls in Little Nightmares are so clunky. So many times I'm trying to run off a ledge and jump, but because the controls are so ass, I either don't run or don't jump and end up plummeting to my death. There are a lot of cinematic moments in this game that purposely change the way your movement works, slowing you down, making it so you can't jump, etc., but it never feels well implemented, and it's almost always frustrating. It is such an annoyance of mine when platformers mess with your basic movement like this. I disdain it. Okay, spoiler warning territory. I'm gonna take off my jacket for the spoilers, of course. At the end of just about every chapter, there are segments where you get hungry. We'll talk about more about what this means for the story in a second, but it starts with some kids' leftovers and ends up with you devouring one of these little guys that you've been helping out throughout the whole game. It's a big twist and supposed to signify that you have officially become what you hate. But for some reason, I could not actually get the scene to play. I kept walking up and trying to get the sausage out of his hands, but nothing would happen. It completely took away from the impact this scene was supposed to have. Another specific time where I almost just gave up on the game completely completely is this boss fight. You're supposed to avoid his hands and take opportunities to pull out the bars from this box. Well, guess what? The pulling mechanic is atrocious. It must have been like a dozen times that I walked up, held the grab button, and pulled away, but my little hands wouldn't grab on for some reason, and I would just walk directly into his grip. It was too much. But something that can always save a game with bad controls is a good story or narrative. This game has a well thought out narrative with obvious underlying themes, just not something really for me. You start in a prison, escape, move to a butcher shop, escape, and end up in a food court. I'll give you guys some time to maybe think about what this game's underlying message is. If you don't already feel bashed in the face with this game's factory farm allegory, then yeah, that's what it is. The blind eye farmer, the butchers who are constantly hacking violently away at some mystery meat. I think at one point I saw what looked like a human arm, and the mindless fat consumers. I think if you're a vegan, oh God, I don't hate vegans. I don't. But if this applies for you, then it might be good. But if you're a vegan who view those around you like these violent gluttons, then the allegory could be for you. Again, I don't hate vegans, but if that's you, then And yeah, if it's not already obvious, this allegory is not for me. There's also the through line of hunger and where/what you choose to let your hunger out on. None of this is something I find very poignant or interesting. The ending, where the weak little prey becomes the badass and gets his revenge on the stupid human pigs, felt so corny. Like Borderlands level of I'm 10 and this is badass. Okay, just I like Borderlands, by the way. I find the corniness of Borderlands to be kind of endearing. If you want to call me a hypocrite in the comments for that, feel free. After finishing the game, I'm gonna be honest, I felt guilty for not liking it. I kept saying to myself, yeah, I didn't like it, but it's a good game, right? I don't really know, man. I don't know. I don't think so. I will say the aesthetics are cool and like 75% of the gameplay isn't bad. I also enjoyed seeing these new areas and how my little guy can interact with it. I like swinging and climbing on things, but even with these small enjoyments, I rate this game a 3 out of 10. It feels harsh, but I'm having trouble finding it any higher. If it settles at a 4 later on, don't be too surprised, but 3 is where it is right now. And it's 86 out of 92 on the R.E.G list. I have an offer. Do you guys like horror games? Would you have preferred if I was more positive about these games? If any of these are true, the next video I'm making is a standalone video for Fear and Hunger 2, a horror game that I'll tell you right now I really like. I'm telling you the game now. You guys can go play it maybe if you haven't, and then when the video comes out, it'll be like book club or something. I don't know. In the last video, I asked you guys to hype the video, but I found out that my videos can't be hyped yet because I need to have at least 500 subs. So instead, please subscribe and tell your friends. Okay, bye.